Joined by Philip Benwell, Chair of the Australian Monarchist League. He joins me live from Sydney. Thanks for your time. Well, let's start on this decision first of all. It seems Harry and Meghan want out, but the family wants them to stay. It's an old-fashioned family squabble.
Well, the fact is that they want some privacy in their life, and they've made this decision. And it's not going to affect anything other than arrangements within the royal family.
Well, as long as it's just them, I guess. Can a royal have it both ways? Do some duty when they want, go off and have your own life for maybe half the year?
Well, that's why they're seeking to raise an independent income, to work for an independent income, so that they're not dependent on the public purse.
If that's the path, though, Philip, for other royals, if this is fair enough, then they'll all just get off the public purse, won't they?
Well, we don't know exactly what arrangements are going to be made. We do know that Harry and Meghan will still be around. They will still be performing duties, but not to the extent that they are at present.
When you look at Harry, he could presumably earn money in all sorts of different ways because of his mere fame, which he has because he's a royal. So it's kind of easy to say, well, get off the public teat, if you like. He's had a lot of years on it, and that's given him his profile, hasn't it?
Well, any member of the royal family has a position and a profile, and we've seen so many members of the outer royal family having to work and earn an income, and sometimes this has led to problems. It's a very delicate situation, really not of their making, but it's something that has to be handled, and this is why the palace has said that the arrangements, the issue is complicated, and that they're working out arrangements.
Does this speak to as well the harassment of Meghan at times, how she's been targeted at times even by a lot of people online for her race, incredibly enough, but also for daring to be divorced and the way this has been handled?
I think the family issues of the Duchess would have played a part in the decision that's been made, the media intrusion into those areas, as well as the attacks on Harry over environmental matters. They would all have added to the decision that they made over the Christmas break.
What does it say about the whole concept of what we know the royals to be? That you have all this media attention, you have a life of luxury, and all of that's based purely because of their bloodline, and yet these two are saying, well, we don't like that too much. Is it becoming unsustainable?
Well, it's not unsustainable. The fact is that the whole life of the Queen, the Prince of Wales, and now the Duke of Cambridge and Duchess of Cambridge is duty. Their whole life is serving the people. Prince William, of course, is preparing to eventually take over the throne after his father. And it's not a life that anyone would really want, but it's a life that they have, and they have to do it because they are a part of the constitutional system of the British monarchy and the monarchy in Australia.
It's a life of duty. I must say, when I see some of the schedules, I agree that I wouldn't want to do it, but it's not purely duty with nothing else as well. The strings attached are whatever they need in life, isn't it?
Well, of course, I mean, they could retire and not bother about duty and still lead a life of wealth and luxury, but they don't do that. They spend most of their working life serving the people, and that's what it's all about in this day and age. But of course in Australia it's the system that counts more than anything else, and as a part of that system we have the Queen, and by inference the Prince of Wales, and then his son the Duke of Cambridge. So they are part of that system, but they are not the system.
And yet the one time it was ever tested, we had a constitutional crisis here in Australia in 1975.
The matter of 1975 was a matter that was handled by the Governor-General, Sir John Kerr.
But that's the system. That's what we're talking about.
Yes, the constitutional system, but it wasn't really a constitutional crisis. The Governor-General moved in and removed the Prime Minister on the basis that an election would be held. An election was held and the people decided. That's what our system is all about, the people deciding.
It also happened, though, amongst the context of deception in terms of what had happened at that time with Malcolm Fraser and the fact that Labor didn't know that he'd gone to the Governor-General. So it's not as straightforward as you put there.
No, but the Governor-General, Sir John Kerr, had been in contact with Gough Whitlam, the then Prime Minister, and he had requested Whitlam to hold an election or to advise that an election be held, and Whitlam refused, wanting to hold a half-Senate election which would not have resolved the problem. So John Kerr moved in the way he thought best to resolve the situation, and that's what he did. Well, and the matter was put to the people. The people could have voted for Whitlam, but they didn't. They voted for Fraser.
Well, whether you consider that whatever crisis or not, I suppose, is all about perspective. Can I ask you finally about the royal brand right now in the wake of Prince Andrew? How much has that damaged the brand?
It hasn't damaged it at all. Prince Andrew is far removed from the succession. He has nothing constitutionally to do with Australia. It's a matter for him and for the royal family, not really for Australia, although it is a matter of concern generally that this sort of thing has happened.
You really think this scandal hasn't damaged the royal brand at all?
Not in Australia. In Australia, our constitution only mentions the Queen.
I'm aware of that. It's the perception. It's the perception, Philip. He's still part of the family. The royal Prince Andrew, as Harry's referred. I'm talking about the brand, not constitutional implications.
Well, yes, that's true, and obviously there is concern there. But as far as the monarchy in this country is concerned, it has not damaged it.
All right. Well, some others might disagree, but fair enough. Philip Benwell, thanks for your time today.
Okay, thank you.